All right, we're going to get started. Good morning and welcome everyone to MnACC Monday College Admissions Q&A panels. As you can see here today, we have a panel of college admissions experts from a variety of institutions from the Midwest. Speakers here today present public, private, 2-year, 4-year, in-state, and reciprocity colleges and universities. MnACC, established in 1991, is a non-competitive post-secondary collaborative dedicated to improving access to higher education for Minnesota students of color. The Minnesota Association of Counselors of Color works to provide college access opportunities throughout the year, including hosting college fairs, professional development, and scholarship opportunities for first-year students. Due to the impacts of COVID-19 on the school year last year, and likely the school year, well, we already know the school year this year coming up, it is important for us to find new and creative ways to provide high school students with college search and access opportunities. Therefore, we're excited to bring you this presentation virtually. So we will get started with introductions, and I ask that each of our panelists introduce themselves and the institutions they represent. My name is Rachel Wynn. I do represent for the University of Minnesota Rochester, but today I wear my hat as past president of MnACC and will be moderating this panel. So after introductions, we'll move into questions. As a participant, we welcome you to chat questions if you have any to the Q&A box, and I'll vet those as we go. At the end, we will provide contact information for those who presented today and for future follow-up. So with that said, we'll get started.
Hello, I am Candace Bartel, and I am the Assistant Director of Admissions and Outreach at North Hennepin Community College. So we are a 2-year community college in the Minnesota state system. We have over 30 associate degree programs to choose from, as well as a variety of certificates, which are going to be shorter term than your 2-year associate degree. We have less than 10,000 students with us. Most of those are part-time students because a lot of our students are working full-time. So there's a lot of flexibility with classes for them on campus, online, day, evening, weekend. We keep our class sizes small, so on average, the class sizes are about 21 or so. And we do have a lot of transfer options. So most of our students, especially more of our traditional age students, are looking to transfer to get a bachelor's degree. So there's a lot of options for them for that. We do have bachelor's degrees on our campus through our university center. So there's about a dozen bachelor's degrees that can be obtained through, we have 4 4-year university partners. Where you can just stick around on our campus and get a bachelor's degree. Otherwise, if you are physically going out to whatever university, we have a lot of different transfer pathway programs, articulation agreements, all sorts of things in place that make transferring easier for students so they can spend a couple years with us or sometimes even less and then transfer up to their desired institution. And then we are located in Brooklyn Park.
Hello, everybody, and welcome today. Glad I have the opportunity to share a little bit about South Dakota State University. My name is Ryan Vandekieft. I'm one of our assistant directors of admissions. And South Dakota State University is part of a 6-university system across our state. And South Dakota State is the largest university, holding about 11,500 students. And that encompasses those students that are right on our campus, a couple smaller satellite locations, as well as online students. Overall, a little over half of our students are from the state of South Dakota, with Minnesota students making up our second highest state of enrollment at between about 15 to 20% per year. So with that close proximity to the state, you do see, of course, that just due to geography, a lot of students are looking our direction if they are considering out of state. So we are pretty conveniently located between metropolitan areas that you can see as part of the map demographic that's there. Our university is a four-year public land-grant university. If you're not familiar with that term, it really just means, we're very comprehensive in nature. That there's certainly programs we're well known for, but in total we'll have over 200 different academic programs that comprise certificates and minors, all the way up through four-year bachelor's degrees, graduate degrees, and professional programs and doctoral programs as well. So we cover a pretty broad range, which I know we'll talk about a little bit more in detail here. We're a Division I university for athletics, compete in the Summit League for the majority of our athletic sports, and then Missouri Valley Football Conference and the Big 12 for a few of the others. We've been really proud of just the continual modernization of our campus. And when you consider the different facilities that have been there, we see those in academics, in research that really supports that #1 research tier that we have. You see that in athletics. You see that in an outstanding performing arts center. Notably, we see that in a new multicultural center that's right on campus that just opened up this last year. And this fall, we're excited to open up a new American Indian Student Center. So we're definitely supporting those students of varying cultures and backgrounds through the programming right on our campus that's there. So, but overall, I think as you see with a lot of colleges and universities right now, where we're adapting to a lot of the changes that have come our way through the health pandemic, but what we're still seeking to provide is that really engaging student experience for you to really explore your passions and whatever that might be. And that, of course, is in academics. That could be also involve research to be able to a chance to really explore your field in a really creative way and just change the world around us. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit through our time today. But those passions might be in service and volunteerism and advocacy and whatever else that might be. You have some excellent pathways and opportunities to do that through your time at SDSU. So excited to share some of those unique opportunities, some of our unique traditions, and I look forward to connecting with those that want to look at SDSU a little bit further. So welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Charwood. I use she, her, and hers pronouns. I am the Access, Opportunity, and Success admissions rep here at Bemidji State University. And BSU is around 3.5 hours north of Minneapolis, and it is right on Lake Bemidji. We have over 60 degree programs here on campus, and we serve approximately 5,000 students. Our average class size is around that 20-to-1 ratio. And one of the things that's pretty unique about Bemidji State is, as you can see in this picture, we are right on the lake, and we have 400 lakes within a 25-mile radius of Bemidji and of Bemidji State University. BSU is home to the first Indigenous language program in the state, as well as the first Indian Studies program in the state. So we're really super proud about that. We are around 3 of the largest Indigenous tribal nations in Minnesota: White Earth, Leech Lake, and Red Lake. And so we are really proud of that and want to celebrate that as often as we can. Bemidji State does have 14 different graduate student programs, and we were founded as a teaching school over 100 years ago. So we just celebrated our 100th centennial. So super proud about that. Really excited to be on this call and share a little bit more information with everyone during this panel.
Yes, okay, perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Erica. I am an admissions counselor and manager of diversity recruitment here at the University of St. Thomas and the Dougherty Family College. So I'm going to be talking about kind of 2 different programs today. So I tried to separate them into those 2 columns that you see on the screen there. So on the left-hand side is talking about St. Thomas's 4-year program. So we are a private 4-year college located in St. Paul, Minnesota. We are the largest private school in Minnesota. So we have about 6,000 undergraduate students and around 4,000 graduate students. We offer over 150 different majors and minors. Some of kind of the bigger programs that we're known for, first and foremost, is definitely our business program. That's something that St. Thomas is very well known for around the Twin Cities. But that's kind of just a little snapshot of the 4-year program. And then for the 2-year program, the Dougherty Family College, we call it the DFC for short. It is a private 2-year college. So as you're kind of going through your college search, you might notice that you don't find many private 2-year colleges in the entire country. The Dougherty Family College is actually the second, I believe, private 2-year college in the United States. So that's something that we're really proud of. And essentially, the DFC was designed for students who are ultimately looking to pursue a 4-year degree, but who are really looking for additional academic support and financial support in getting there. So our main campus for the Dougherty Family College is located in Minneapolis. So just a short ride away from the St. Paul campus that we have here. And then a few things that you see listed there. So our main goal at DFC is that we really want to provide our students with as many supports as we can to make those first 2 years of college a really successful 2 years. So we're going to provide all of our students with a brand new laptop, all of their textbooks, their meals, a Metro Transit pass, all of the things like that to try to really remove as many barriers as we can so that you can really focus just on being a student. So I really look forward to getting to chat with everybody and getting to answer any questions that you might have.
Hi everyone, my name is Molly Baskienza and I'm one of the Associate Deans of Recruitment at St. Olaf College. And St. Olaf College is located in Northfield, Minnesota, which is just 45 minutes south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. So it's just a quick jaunt south down I-35. We do provide a lot of different transportation options for students from the cities or even from all over, from the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, Mall of America, the University of Minnesota, St. Thomas, I think even. So we provide opportunities and buses and shuttles for students to get from the cities down to campus. Once on campus, we are up on a hill. So it's a really great learning environment where 95% of our students do live on campus for all 4 years in a number of different residential configurations. We do have about 3,000 students. All of the students at St. Olaf are undergraduates, which means they are in those first 4 years of college working towards their bachelor's degree. As you are going through that first 4 years of college, though, you'll want to know that there's a lot of different activities and things that you can get involved in, Division III sports, incredible music and fine arts programs. But we do also have 85 different majors, programs, and concentrations at St. Olaf. All of the majors you'd expect, like biology and English and things like that, as well as pre-professional programs that are going to help you as you are pursuing maybe medical school or law school. We've just launched an engineering track as well. And then there is the opportunity to create your own major. So maybe you don't fit nicely in a square box of a major. You can work with a faculty advisor to actually develop your own major and utilize all the different resources that a small private liberal arts college can provide. And while it looks a little bit different this year, we are and have been ranked #1 in the United States for the college that sends students who to study off campus and study abroad. And most of those programs actually are St. Olaf-based programs led by St. Olaf faculty all around the world. And then one final thing that's important to note is that we are committed to meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need for students. So we know that college is an expensive endeavor and we want to help make it affordable for you and your family.
Great, thank you, panelists. All right, so at this time, we will go into our Q&A portion of the panel. The first question I have for you all is, what is student life like at your school? How does a student find and build community at your school? So whoever wants to start, feel free.
I'll jump in, we'll go opposite order or something. That is a great question, and something that I think would apply to all campuses is that students should pay attention right when they arrive on campus or right when they start, because oftentimes clubs and organizations that are already established all do like heavy recruiting on campus for you to join them right at the beginning. At St. Olaf, typically we have a co-curricular fair, and I like to say it's a lot like what you see in the movies of every college movie, where all the organizations set up tables on the quad, and you can go around, and one of my coworkers likes to call it reverse Halloween, because you go around and get swag and candy and sign up. But be careful, because about a week later you'll realize not only can you not attend all of the meetings you thought you could, you also can't even keep up with the emails. but the opportunities are there. And at St. Olaf, if it's not there and you're really interested in something, you can actually create your own club and get funding from the student government as well to start your own organization.
So at North Hennepin, we have almost 30 clubs and organizations, and kind of there's a similar event where you can go around and get to find out information about all the clubs and meet the leaders of those organizations, and students can also form their own club, which is great. But we also have a leadership program. It's called LEAD. So they have a variety of tracks and events and all sorts of things that go in that for students to develop leadership skills. We have a variety of performing and visual arts things for students to get involved in. It could be taking a fun, art class, getting involved in a theater production, regardless of your major, or maybe, participating in band, orchestra, choir, again, kind of regardless of, the classes you're taking or your major. We also have, like for sports, we have a variety of intramural sports and club sports. So there's still ways to get active and involved in things like that. So I think the biggest thing is finding what you enjoy, what you like, and getting involved in any and everything that you possibly can, so you can kind of get to know people and just have fun. Especially, we don't have on-campus housing, so I think it's very crucial for students to be able to get involved on campus and kind of make the most of your time with us.
I can share a little bit about Bemidji State University. We also have intramural and club sports on campus. We are a D2 school, except for our hockey, which is a D1. We have over 90 student clubs and organizations on campus. And so students can connect with other students at the very beginning of the year. There's different fairs and events where students can come and get to know each other and learn more about what's happening on campus. We also have a couple of clubs that are unique to BSU, such as the Council of Indian Students, which does meet often, and they help plan the annual powwow on campus. And we have the American Indian Resource Center on campus, which is a really beautiful domed building where students can come together and do homework, have meals, socialize, and de-stress. And then we also have a newly created Student Center for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion that was just recently formed, I think, less than 5 years ago on campus. So super proud about that. And the very last thing I'm going to mention is a new club that was started recently, and that's the Black Student Union. And so they've also been meeting pretty regularly, planning activities and events on campus. And like somebody else was saying too, if there's a area that you're really interested in, but you notice that there's not a club formed yet, feel free to start your own. Our largest club is bird watching. It meets one day a year, and people just come out for that one day, but that's our largest club. And then we have a horizontally challenged rock climbing club. So all sorts of fun events and activities and way to meet your people.
That rock climbing club probably sounds appropriate for me and my skill level to participate in. So at South Dakota State, we have a lot of comparative type of programs and activities that have been mentioned, and in total, roughly about 240 or more. And as mentioned, if you have an interest in a club or organization that isn't currently offered, we want to support that opportunity to explore that and find ways and pathways to create that into existence. But your involvement really starts when you arrive on campus. We have a welcome week of activities where we connect you with resources from your academic areas, as well as from our student groups and organizations. And that's coordinated to be able to maybe take some of that awkwardness away from, trying to walk up and start a conversation when that can be hard sometimes. So we have that built right within our welcome week activities. And that does include a student expo where you're able to also speak with our different student organizations. This year, we transitioned that to utilize our online and virtual functioning a little bit more. in light of our health pandemic. Our mascot is the Jackrabbits. So we use that terminology for a lot of things, and our student club exploration program is called the Jack's Club Hub. So you're able to log in and see at any point who the leadership is, their activity calendars, when they meet, so you can easily get connected with them. As far as our multicultural groups, our Office of Multicultural Affairs does an awesome job of sharing a lot of those opportunities and programs with our campus throughout the year. They have an activity calendar and a program calendar that goes out, that's posted, that really promotes a lot of the work and events that they're doing throughout the year. So it's really easy to stay connected with those, whatever it is that you want to be a part of. I think overall, you're going to find that we're really going to be supportive in those co-curricular activities, whether that's athletics, whether that's fine arts, cultural volunteerism, whatever it is that wherever your passions are at, we're definitely going to support those.
I'll just make this real quick, since I think my answer is basically a culmination of what everyone has already said. But one thing that stands out to me that's just slightly different about St. Thomas, I think, when it comes to student involvement is every Tuesday and Thursday on campus, we have what we call convocation hour, or convo hour for short. Basically a 2-hour block where no classes are scheduled on our campus. And during those 2 hours, that tends to be when a lot of our clubs and organizations will hold their meetings. So we just do that because we want it to be accessible for students. Because if there's a club that you really want to join, but it turns out that you've got your chem class or something during that time, we just want to make sure that you can be a part of the clubs that you want to be a part of. So that's one way that St. Thomas makes that accessible for students.
Thank you. All right, next question. Do students have the option to or requirement of living on campus? And what are the dorms and dining facilities like at your institution? Some of you may have already discussed this in your introductions.
Okay, I can go ahead. St. Thomas recently put in a 2-year residency requirement. So for our 4-year program in St. Paul, our students will live on campus their first and second year. There are waivers to that requirement. If students do live locally and you're going to be living at home and commuting to and from campus, that's totally fine. We can waive that requirement. For the 2-year Dougherty Family College, we actually don't have residence halls available there. We do that because unfortunately living on campus can be pretty expensive, and so our students will live at home and commute to and from the program each day, and that's on our downtown Minneapolis campus. But we provide students with a Metro Transit pass, and our campus is really easily accessible via Metro Transit, so we just want to make that really accessible for students, which is why we provide that pass.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Sure, sorry. So South Dakota State also has a 2-year on-campus residency requirement. And for some students, a natural question is, why do we have residency requirements? And they're really in place to help promote support for students as you transition onto our campuses. So know that it's not simply a requirement that we want you to be there, but we want to be able to create an environment that really supports you, so you are able to connect with other students that have some of those similar interests and really feel a part of our campuses. So in total, we have about 17 residence halls on our campus, and through those, there's a variety of amenities that you get to pick and choose from. And those occupancies can range from a double occupancy or possibly single occupancy room during that first year, all the way up through suites, apartments, or townhomes as you progress into your second, third, and fourth years with us on campus. Within the residence halls, I think it's always great to look out and seek out those opportunities to connect with peers that have different interests, whether those are academics or just activity interests. And we have those through learning communities on our campus, like many schools do. So you'll find those related to academics, related to culture, promoting health and wellness, or other activities. So we know that's a big part of your level of comfort on our campuses. And when you do have an opportunity to tour, we always encourage you to take a look at our residence halls to be able to experience firsthand what life in our campus will be like.
St. Olaf does have a 4-year required residency. However, there are, as at St. Thomas, always exceptions to that. And during that time, students live primarily in 12 different halls on campus. And we do have some like different configurations, so it's not all just doubles, it's a lot of different things. One reason that students actually like that requirement is because there are so many things to do. It's really nice in the middle of January to not have to go a long ways away to find a cold, dark apartment, but to go to the warm, inviting residence hall where all of your friends are and you can continue your conversations. We only have one dining hall on campus, and that dining hall is ranked actually number 7 in the nation for best food on campus, with a lot of our food being grown locally on campus or from supporting local farms around too. So really good food as well when you're at college.
Speak a little bit about BSU and our housing. We do have a first year requirement to live on campus. We have freshman dorms, which they're all named after trees. So Tamarack and Oak are freshman dorms. They're both co-ed, and you can also have special interest groups on each floor. So if there's a group who is really interested in outdoors or in sports or things like that, there's special interest groups at each floor. We also have Cedar Hall, which is 2 and 3 bedrooms, which is for single parents. So that's definitely an option on our campus. Our housing application opens in October, and then room selection begins in June. And then one other neat aspect about Bemidji State University is we have a tunnel system. So if students need to get from their residential halls to their academic side, there are tunnels available for students to go through. Being in northern Minnesota, we do get some snow and sometimes it's pretty chilly, and so those tunnels do come in handy.
And we don't have housing at North Hennepin.
All right, so we'll move on. Describe the application process and your timeline for your institution.
Well, we're on rolling application, so we don't require a deadline to apply or be admitted to the university, and we also do not have a commitment or a deposit that is required. So we're going to support you as you explore South Dakota State University, and once you're ready to make that decision, we hope we've provided you with enough information to make that informed decision about us. We have just a homegrown app that's offered right through our university, so you'll be able to access that right from our homepage or our admissions page, so we can always direct that to you. With our application requirements, I used that term land grant before, and really what land grant refers to is one of the kind of pillars of that is promoting access for students. So with our admissions requirements, you see a lot of flexibility in those. So we could have a minimum ACT of 18, 2.6 high school GPA, or graduate in the top 60% of your class. And then we also have, so we just need one of those 3. And then we also have some core class requirements in English, math, science, kind of the physical sciences and social sciences for you. So I think the big takeaway is, when you reference our admissions requirements, I think if you have any uncertainty if you would be meeting those, please have that discussion with us, because we do have some flexibility even with those guidelines that I had mentioned.
At Bemidji State University, we do need all high school transcripts as well as their application, and that is available online. We do have auto enrollment and automatic admissions, so that can happen if a student has an ATC composite score of 21 or higher, or if a student graduated in the top 50% of their class. We do have a couple of updates as far as with COVID and things like that. And so we are ACT test flexible currently for all admission students for 2021. And our applications are open currently for fall 2021 students. We also are doing ACT super scoring as part of our admissions. And so if students want to take multiple tests and then submit them to us, we will take their top scores. Again, like I said, fall 2021 application is open, and we are accommodating those pass-fail grades that some students might have received last spring. So yeah, that's a little bit about our application process.
At St. Olaf, we have 2 deadlines with 4 different processes. We have early decision, 1 and 2, and then we have early action and regular action. The 2 deadlines to keep in mind are November 15th and January 15th. By applying early decision, you are committing that the college that you're applying to is your #1 choice. And should the financials work out and you are admitted to that college, you are committing to deposit and attend that college. Early action at St. Olaf means that you are a little bit on the ball and get all of your application materials in by that November 15th date so that we can give you a decision and your full financial aid package earlier so you can compare that with others. You still have until May 1 to actually make your final decision. And then we do have a regular decision deadline of January 1st or January 15th. Dates are, the calendar is strange this year. It still feels like March. January 15th is when all applications are due. And that then gives us time to read your application and review and create a financial aid package for you. So then you find out in mid-March and you still have until that May 1 deadline. So we do have firm deadlines that we want you to apply on. That way we can give you the best consideration for acceptance and financial aid.
I'll follow you, Molly, if that's okay, because St. Thomas is fairly similar, so it's easy to keep track of. So we have both early action and regular decision. So early action, as Molly said, is for students who are just looking to apply early and hear back early. So St. Thomas doesn't have any early decision. So this is totally no strings attached, essentially. So if you apply early action to St. Thomas, you hear back earlier, if that's all that it means. So if you apply by November 1st, you'll hear back from us by December 15th. And that's also when you would get not only your admissions decision, but also your merit scholarship as well. So that's for St. Thomas's 4-year program. So we have our own application, the St. Thomas application. We also take the Common App as well. So our application doesn't have an application fee, it's totally free. And then to kind of switch over to the 2-year for the Dougherty Family College, we do all of our admissions on a rolling admissions there. So the Dougherty Family College is a very small program. So it's about 150 students that we're able to enroll each year. So if you think about it, rolling admissions basically just means that we review your application as soon as we get it. And once we fill up all of those 150 spots, then the application process closes. So if you are interested in applying to the 2-year program, it's always best to apply sooner rather than later. And if you're not sure about which program you're looking to apply to, maybe the 4-year or maybe the 2-year, definitely connect with me and we can kind of walk through it and see what might be your best choice. But also starting fall of 2021, St. Thomas, our 4-year program, as well as the Dougherty Family College are all going to be test optional from here on out. So we're really excited about that.
All right, so North Hennepin Community College is an open enrollment institution. So that means as long as you can graduate from high school, you will be admitted. We start our applications pretty early, almost like a year in advance you can apply. And October is a really good time to apply for next year because it's College Knowledge Month, and we will be waiving our $20 application fee during that month. And it's just kind of nice to get everything in and done early on time. You get your acceptance letter in a couple days after you apply. And then once you're done with high school, you'll just request your official transcripts to be sent to us. And we don't need any ACT scores or SAT scores or anything like that. But if you do have those scores and you do have certain scores, that could potentially waive the AccuPlace or placement tests that we have our students take that determines if they should be at either college level or maybe a pre-college level. So once they're done with that, they just go through an orientation process and register for classes, and that's it.
All right, thank you. So COVID's put a wrench into a lot of our visit opportunities as colleges and universities seek to give students more information. So how are you working with students who do want to visit or know more about your college in light of the recent pandemic situation?
I can go. So yeah, we have moved a lot of our stuff online. So our information sessions that we do 3 times a week, those are online now via Zoom. We do have also a video of our information session online too, so you can kind of watch it on your own time. And then we have regular appointments and things like that you can call, you can email us. That can be done over Zoom as well. We have our tour online. That's kind of more of a, you can just kind of see the sort of, kind of following as if you were on a tour. It's not as in-depth as, you know, some people's online tours, but we have that just so you can kind of see the campus and you can read about it, and all of that, which is really great. And then we have been doing our testing and orientation and everything online. So essentially a lot of the things that we have been doing previously, everything's just in an online format now. So it's super fun.
Throughout the summer, St. Olaf has had a number of virtual connection opportunities. We have a really great virtual tour that's online, as well as weekly opportunities to connect with faculty, do interviews with your admissions officer, all of that great stuff. We also have opened a drive-through tour. So if you are interested in seeing what campus looks like, you pull into a designated parking spot, and then you kind of get the map to go around, and there's an audio tour at each stop where you learn about the hall that you've stopped in front of. And then starting after Labor Day, we're going to be changing up our virtual options with enhanced digital tours, as well as more interview opportunities. There's a lot of content on our website specifically for your virtual visit experience. And we're trying to give you the best opportunity possible to get a chance to see what St. Olaf is like, even though we can't officially welcome you to campus as we would have in the past.
Throughout the summer, we transitioned to offer very comparable virtual experiences that have been discussed already. And those virtual experiences we do continue to offer now, and will, for going forward in the future. One additional one that I would highlight that SDSU is offering is a live student panel discussion that is also available. So I think that student perspective is always a very important perspective. So we do offer that in addition to the times to speak with our admissions staff, review resources on demand, or take a virtual campus tour. We've been very fortunate. So we do have some flexibility to offer campus visit programs. And those can include time with our admissions staff, time with our academic faculty and staff, as well as the campus tours. So in addition to the virtual resources, we would welcome that opportunity if you do want to come explore our campus. We've gone through pretty rigorous proposals and review and protocols to try and promote and help maintain that safe campus visit opportunity for you, as well as for our staff and students. So we'd be happy to discuss that ahead of time and make sure that you'd be comfortable with what we do have in place. But just know you're able to have a pretty comparable campus visit experience as we've always been able to offer.
Bemidji State sounds pretty similar to what other people have described, as far as we are doing some virtual tours, things like that are available on our website. So students can go onto our website and take a tour from one of our university ambassadors. We also have a Meet Your Rep conversation that takes place every weekday at 1 o'clock. So students can join those calls and meet with an admissions rep. We currently are allowing tours on campus for students who are accepted students only, and then we're just making sure we're practicing social distancing. There's a form that people have to fill out prior to coming on campus, wearing masks, that sort of a thing. And then we do have other BSU 101 videos, and our website is pretty up to date with information about tours and what that could look like, different videos and things like that.
And St. Thomas and the Dougherty Family College are doing kind of a combination of in-person and virtual visit options right now. So we do have a limited number of in-person appointments and campus tours that we're offering for our rising seniors right now. So you can come and meet one-on-one with your admissions counselor, take a tour of campus, whatever it is that you need to do to help figure out if our institution might be a good fit for you. But then we also have the option of virtual appointments. So virtual tours, virtual meeting with admissions counselors, virtual meetings with faculty members, so you can meet professors that are in a field that you're interested in. And I would say all of these things are subject to change kind of as the year goes on. So I don't want to speak for all the other institutions, but I would imagine that checking our websites is probably going to be the best thing to do kind of as the weeks go on, as the semesters go on and things like that, just to kind of see what happens.
Yes, that's such an important piece, knowing how much things can change in a matter of days. So, all right. Moving on to sort of those post-academic opportunities, how do students find career and internship opportunities at your institution?
I'll go. So through our career services office, they host a variety of job fairs on campus. They also have kind of individual employer visits. There are some programs that do offer specific internships that might be a requirement for the major. So I think it just kind of depends on, you know, what you're looking for, what your program is. Our career services office can also just kind of, or even like I think the faculty are really good at connecting students to potential internships, or you know, I always tell students, look in multiple places because you're going to get different answers from different people, and people are going to have different connections. So, you know, between using our career services department as well as the faculty to help, you know, kind of figure out, you know, what job do I want and where do I find those, and where do I get internships and how do I get connected to those? So a few different spots.
We also have a center at St. Olaf. It's called the Piper Center for Career and Vocation. And this is an office that will actually reach out to you starting your very first year. They want to help you even do something as simple as decide your major. You might think you know what you want to do, but don't be afraid to change your mind. Many people change their major multiple times while in college, and that's not a bad thing. You maybe just haven't had exposure to the things you can all major in. The Piper Center is kind of the hub, and they will do everything from help you with resume and interview skills. They have a connection with our network of alumni who are looking forward and eager to help you with internships and job searches. They keep a database of all job opportunities that come through the door, as well as internship opportunities. And we acknowledge that there's a lot of unfunded internship opportunities out there. So that means that you have this great opportunity, but how in the world are you going to live and eat for a summer if it's unfunded? They give out over $1 million, I think $500,000 a year in funding for those unpaid internships and other opportunities, because they are they know that they're important to your development. This is also the office if you are thinking graduate school, that can help you with those application processes as well. And there are designated people within the office to help with each different type of area you're interested in. So maybe you're like, I really want to work in nonprofit and community services, or I'm really like pre-law all the way. There's designated people that are familiar with those paths that can help you prepare for those roles.
At the two-year Dougherty Family College, internships are actually a really big part of our program. So all of our students will be guaranteed a paid internship as long as you want it. It's not a requirement, but if you can get your hands on a paid internship as a first-year student in college, I would highly recommend taking that. So all of our students are guaranteed that, like I said, if they want it. You'll work at your internship for sure 1 day per week. A lot of our students do end up staying on through summers and things like that, just depending on the availability of where it is that you're interning. But then at St. Thomas's 4-year program, it's very similar to what a lot of the other institutions have said in terms of we have our career development center. They host a lot of career fairs. They'll help students brushing up your resume, applying for jobs, looking for internships, practicing your interviewing skills. And our Career Development Center is free for St. Thomas and Dougherty Family College students for life. So if you were to graduate from St. Thomas or the Dougherty Family College, you start a job right out of college, and then 10 years down the road, you decide to make a career change, you still have access to all of the services that our Career Development Center offers.
All right. We're just about to finish up here, got about 15 minutes left. What is one single piece of advice you would give a student entering their senior year of high school and that's beginning to consider their post-secondary options?
I'd probably start with just encouraging students to utilize your resources. You know, as evidenced by this panel here today, there's a lot of admissions professionals, high school support staff, maybe family, many different people in your life that are probably supportive to you pursuing your education. So utilize those and help us help surround you with the information so you can make an informed decision about your future. And maybe that is higher education, maybe that's military, maybe that's professional employment, whatever that might be. But in terms of higher education, that is often our admissions office staff and professionals. I think when we reach out and offer opportunities to connect, take advantage of those, just because we do that in a variety of ways to make that as convenient as we can. And you'll probably hear from from every school and every professional you speak with is to make sure that you just consider a variety of different options and see what really feels good to you and meets the needs and the experiences that you value for your education. And I think if you kind of have that plan, you utilize the supportive resources that are out there, and you just stay active in that throughout your senior year. Even if it doesn't seem like you're going to reach that decision, just know that I think that will come in time, and you'll be confident in that decision.
Yeah, I would say that we're all here to help. Very similar to what Ryan said. We're friendly faces and we like working with you because it helps us get to know you. If all you do is submit an application, that's all we have to go on. So when you reach out, when you ask for an interview, when you give us an email just to ask questions, it just helps create the well-rounded picture of who you are, so that when it comes time to that admissions decision, we are able to petition on your behalf and say, this is an awesome student who's reached out and they've let us know that this is what they're interested in and this is why they want to come to our school, or that type of thing. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
I would say, start thinking about college early, apply early, submit scholarship and financial aid information early. And like other people have said, connect with your high school guidance counselor, reach out to your admissions reps. I know at Bemidji State University, students can email, phone call, or text us. And I always say, reply, and we're not robots, and we will get back to you. So it's not an automated text that's going out, it's a real person behind it. So I always encourage people to send in your questions, text them to us, call us. And then the last piece of advice is just something kind of silly, but I think it's really something that is good to do. And that's just practice writing, sending, and checking emails often, because especially with COVID and everything else, just there's so many different updates and things that are happening. And so just to get into the habit of checking emails.
Some wise words here. Thank you, everyone. All right, so I'm going to share contact information, and I'll say thank you to the viewers who tuned in today or viewed as a recording, and to the panelists who joined us to share your expertise. We hope you found this information helpful as you take steps forward in your college search. Listed are, as I mentioned, contact information from everyone you heard from today. We look forward to working with you in the future. I also want to put a little plug in that our fairs will be virtual this year, and they will be accessible to any student who decides they want to register. And those are going to be October 20th from 2 to 6 p.m., October 29th from 2 to 6 p.m., and Sunday, November 1st from noon to 4 p.m. So thank you, everyone.